The night began with laughter. 4 friends, Maya, Rizwan, Danish, and Sonia, stood at the edge of Gorakh Jungle, a place wrapped in fog and superstition. No one from the nearby village ever dared to go in after sunset. Locals said the jungle talked when the moon was full, whispering names of the dead. But for these 4, it was the perfect spot for a viral challenge. "Come on," Danish grinned, pulling out his phone. One video, a few candles, and the Charlie board. Instant views. Sonia rolled her eyes. "You mean instant curse. Don't be dramatic." Maya teased, lighting a candle. "It's just a game." Rizwan hesitated, his eyes tracing the dark canopy of trees. The air already felt heavy, thicker than it should be. "You really want to play that here? In the jungle? That's the point," Danish said, balancing 2 pencils in a cross on the paper. On it, the words "yes" and nitrogen monoxide glowed in the candlelight. He pressed record. "Right, guys.midnight. Gorakh Jungle. Let's see if Charlie's real." The jungle hummed quietly. The only sound was the crackle of fireflies and the buzz of distant crickets. Danish began, voice low and mock serious. "Charlie, Charlie, are you here?" The pencil didn't move. Maya laughed nervously. "Maybe he's camera shy." They tried again. "Charlie, Charlie, do you want to play this time?" The pencil twitched. Rizwan froze. "Did you?" No wind. Sonia whispered. The air was dead still. The pencil slowly turned to yes. The laughter died. Then, from deep inside the jungle, a whisper answered, faint but clear. "Welcome." The camera flickered. The candlelight bent backward as if something exhaled against it. "Okay, that's enough." Rizwan muttered, snatching the paper, but Danish was thrilled. "No way. Man, it worked." "Did you hear that?" Maya, voice trembling, said, "Let's go back. Now." But when they turned, the trail they came from was gone. Just fog, trees, and whispers. Sonia pointed at the ground. "Look." The dirt had words scratched into it, fresh, as if drawn by invisible fingers. "You asked me to play." The phone camera blinked red once more and shut off. The jungle on them sighed, and from somewhere ahead, a child's laugh echoed, "Your turn." The fog had thickened into a living wall. Every direction looked the same, trees like dark columns, vines hanging like ropes. The air smelled of damp soil and something faintly metallic. Blood, maybe. Maya held her phone high, trying to catch a signal. Nothing. No buzz. "It's like we're off the map." Danish kicked at the dirt. "We can't be far from the road." "We just turned round." But Sonia wasn't listening. She was staring at the message carved in the ground. "You asked me to play." The letters were fresh, carved with precision, and the earth beneath them pulsed. Ever so slightly, as if it breathed. Rizwan crouched. "This doesn't make sense. Look. These marks aren't just scratches. They're symbols older than English." He brushed some leaves aside and found another set etched into a flat rock, a circle with 2 vertical slashes, surrounded by smaller runes. Maya frowned. "What is that?" Rizwan's voice dropped. "I saw this once in a local myth, about a watcher of the trees. The villagers call him Charlie, not Charlie. They say he guards the forest, feeding on those who disturb its silence." Sonia shivered. "So, what we called was never a game." Danish tried to laugh it off, but the sound cracked. "Come on. You're saying Charlie's some jungle demon." "It's just superstition." But even as he said it, the trees round them groaned, as if something massive shifted among them. Maya pointed ahead. There's a light. Look. Through the fog. A faint orange glow flickered, a fire. Relief washed over them. Maybe someone's camping, Danish said. Moving first. They follow the light, crunching through leaves, whispering prayers under their breath. The glow grew stronger until they reached a small clearing, with a stone altar in the center. Upon it sat 4 wooden dolls, hand-carved, each one wearing torn bits of their clothes. Maya gasped. That's my jacket piece. Sonia stepped closer. How, before she could finish, the doll's head snapped toward her. All 4 dolls turned, one by one, until they faced their living counterparts. A voice drifted from the darkness, not a whisper this time, but a chant. You called his name. Now, he knows yours. Something moved in the fog. Tall, thin, its limbs bending the wrong way. The candles round the altar flared. The creature's outline shimmered, half shadow, half smoke, a face with no eyes, only a mouth carved into a permanent grin. Rizwan stumbled back, whispering, That's him, Chari. Maya dropped her phone as the voice crawled into her head, soft as breath. You wanted to play. The altar trembled. The dolls fell over, and from beneath them, roots shot out of the soil, twisting round their ankles. Sonia screamed, It's pulling us. The jungle came alive. Whispers from every direction, chanting their names, Maya, Rizwan, Danish, Sonia. Then everything stopped. Silence. The roots vanished. The fire died, and the dolls were gone. Only one word remained carved into the altar's surface. Run. But when they looked behind them, the path had changed again. The jungle had rearranged itself. And far off, through the fog, the voice laughed softly. Not yet. The game isn't over. The jungle was no longer silent. It breathed, leaves rustling without wind, roots shifting underfoot like veins. The 4 friends ran until their lungs burned. Yet every direction looked identical. The fog was thicker now, glowing faintly as if lit from within. Maya clutched her chest. We're going in circles, I swear. We passed that same tree twice. Sonia pointed ahead. No, look. That one has marks. Someone's been here. They approached cautiously. The tree had long gashes across its bark, letters carved deep in uneven lines. Turn round. They froze. Rizwan whispered, Don't look. But Danish, stubborn, reckless, turned. Behind him, a figure stood just beyond the fog. It looked human, almost. But its neck was too long, and its head tilted like it was studying them. Its grin stretched wider than skin should allow. Danish blinked. The figure vanished. He laughed shakily. Okay, fine. I'm seeing things. We're just... Something cold brushed his shoulder. He spun. Nothing there. But Maya saw it this time. A shadow crawling up the tree, limbs bending like a spider's. Then came the whisper. One by one. The fog darkened. The ground trembled. Suddenly, the group was separated, the jungle swallowing each of them into their own corner of nightmare. Maya stumbled into a clearing filled with mirrors, dozens of them, cracked, fogged. Reflecting her from every angle, her reflection in one of them smiled. But she hadn't. Maya, it whispered. He says you lied. She backed away. What lie? The reflection stepped out of the glass, her exact twin. But its eyes were black. You said you'd never leave him behind. Before Maya could scream. The mirror self-lunged, and the sound of shattering glass echoed through the jungle. Rizwan's game, he found himself back at the altar, but the dolls had returned. Only now, one was missing a head. Danish, he whispered, trembling. The air grew hot. The altar bled sap, thick and red. Then, slowly, the missing doll's head rolled out of the fog, carved into Rizwan's likeness. Its mouth moved. Confess, Rizwan sobbed. It was an accident. I didn't mean for him to die. The forest answered with laughter. Then why did you bury him? Didn't he understand? Until he realized what the voice meant, a secret buried long before this night. The jungle wasn't hunting them randomly. It knew Sonia's game. Sonia ran until she tripped on roots, landing beside a broken statue of a child. Its stone eyes stared at her. She whispered, "Please, stop." The statue whispered back, "Play." Suddenly, the trees round her began to sway, their branches clapping like hands. The same child's laughter from before echoed, closer this time. Then something grabbed her ankle. Small fingers, dozens of them, dragging her into the soil. Danish's game. He found the camera, still recording. Its red light blinking in the dark. He picked it up and saw his own face on screen. Terrified, desperate. But the reflection in the lens wasn't matching his movements anymore. The other Danish smiled. "Do you want to play again?" It asked through the camera. Danish dropped it, screaming, and ran straight into the fog, where something tall waited. One by one, their screams blended into the jungle's hum, rising, falling, then fading. The fog cleared for a moment, revealing the altar again. 4 new dolls sat there now, and a 5th pencil lay across a blank sheet of paper, ready, waiting. A faint voice whispered, "One game ends. Another begins." The camera on the ground flickered back to life, recording only the empty jungle. In the distance, the whisper came again, playful, calm, and ancient. "Charlie. Charlie, are you there? Always." The jungle had fallen into a strange quiet, a silence too heavy, too watchful. The fog no longer drifted. It hung, like a curtain over reality. Somewhere deep within, a faint tick, tick, tick began to echo, like an unseen clock counting down. Maya opened her eyes. She was lying in the dirt beside the altar. Her arms were covered in cuts, her hair stuck to her face with sweat and soil. The others were scattered nearby, unconscious but breathing. For a moment, she thought it was over. Then she saw the paper, the same one they'd used for the game. But now, instead of YES and nitrogen monoxide, it bore for names written in blood, Maya.IZW and.Danish.Sonia. And below them, a 5th name slowly carved itself into the paper, letter by letter. "Charlie." Maya screamed and shook Danish awake. He bolted upright, gasping. "What happened?" "Where's Sonia?" Rizwan groaned. Sitting up, she was here, but the 4th spot was empty. Only her door remained, its eyes hollowed out. The ticking grew louder. Tick, tick, tick. "Do you hear that?" Maya whispered. "Yes," Danish said. Scanning the trees. "It's coming from." He stopped. His voice trembled. "Up there." They looked up. Hanging from the branches were dozens of hourglasses, each filled not with sand, but with black ash. The glass shimmered faintly, and within some, faint human faces pressed against the surface. Whispering, Rizwan stared in horror. "Those are souls." A voice floated from the darkness, calm, distant, almost kind. "Time is the game." The fog parted, revealing a tall figure cloaked in vines and moss. Its body flickered, half real, half shadow. Where its face should be, there was only a hollow void, but its voice came from everywhere. "You called my name, and so your time began," Dana shouted. What are you?" The figure tilted its head. "I was called Charlie by your kind. But long before that, they called me Charlie, the keeper of the hourglass. I do not hunt, I remember," Maya whispered. "Remember what? Every promise. Every lie. Every name that disturbs the silence." Rizwan stepped forward, trembling. "So the game was never a game. It was a summoning. Each dare is a doorway. Each question, a binding." The figure reached out a hand. The air warped. In an instant, they were no longer in the clearing, but standing in an ancient stone hall hidden beneath the jungle. The walls were carved with faces, hundreds of them, mouths open in silent screams. At the center stood a massive hourglass, the size of a man, filled with the same black ash. Inside it, faint shapes moved, reaching upward. "Those are the ones who played before," whispered Maya. "Yes," said Charlie. "Every name whispered becomes part of me. The jungle feeds on their time. Until the glass breaks," Dana shouted. "Then break it. Let them go." The figure's grin widened. "Only the one who dares can break it. But it will cost. Another life." The ground quaked. One of. The hourglasses hanging above shattered, releasing a gust of black smoke. A scream echoed. Sonia's voice. And then was gone. Maya fell to her knees. "No, please, stop. Time is balance," the voice said softly. "One leaves. One must stay." Rizwan's hands shook as he picked up a shard of broken glass. "Then I'll stay. Just let them go." Charlie leaned closer. "Your offer is brave, but useless." The glass round the great hourglass cracked. The ticking grew chaotic. Tick, 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 tick. Maya's vision blurred. The fog rushed in, swallowing the hall, the altar, everything. She saw flashes, the jungle collapsing, faces screaming, and Charlie's grin expanding until it filled the sky. Then, silence. Maya opened her eyes again. She was standing at the edge of the jungle, dawn breaking through the mist. Birds chirped. Her friends were gone. The jungle was quiet again. She stumbled out onto the road, collapsing beside the abandoned car. The game board lay on the ground beside her. The pencil still crossed. Her phone buzzed. A notification. New video uploaded. Charlie real footage, Gorakh Jungle. It was the recording. But the thumbnail showed something impossible. 4 hourglasses, lined neatly in a row. And Maya's own face strapped in the 4th one. Screaming silently. Her reflection in the car window smiled back at her. "Your turn." The sun rose weakly over Gorakh Jungle, but its light seemed pale, as if the day itself hesitated to touch the cursed trees. Maya sat beside the old car, her hands trembling as she watched the video play on her phone. The title burned into the screen. Charlie real footage, Gorakh Jungle. The thumbnail, the 4 hourglasses, glimmered faintly, as if alive. She pressed play. The footage began with Danish's voice, laughing. "All right, guys. Midnight in the jungle." But there was something wrong. In the background, behind their laughter, another voice whispered along with them, echoing their lines a half-second late. Her stomach twisted. She fast-forwarded to the moment. They called Charlie. When the pencil moved, she heard it clearly this time. Not wind. A breath. A whisper that said her name. The screen glitched. And a new timestamp appeared that hadn't been in the original recording. 1:59 a.m. Last minute. The video kept going beyond the point she remembered, showing things she never saw. The camera turned toward her sleeping form by the altar, and a tall figure crouched beside her, tracing her outline with one bony finger. The whisper came again. "She stays." Then the figure leaned toward the camera. No eyes, only a mouth. filled with teeth that looked carved from bone. A deal must balance. The screen froze. But the voice continued, whispering directly through the speaker. Tell them to play, Maya, or take your place forever. Her reflection in the black screen smiled faintly, her lips moving even though she hadn't spoken. Charlie. Charlie, are you here? The phone camera turned on by itself. She wasn't touching it. The front camera opened, showing her terrified face, and behind her, through the car window, a faint outline standing in the trees. The same grin, watching, waiting. She threw the phone into the grass and ran down the road, screaming for help. But every step echoed differently, slower, heavier, as if the world lagged behind her. A truck passed by. The driver hit the brakes. Miss, are you okay? She ran to the window, tears streaming. Please, help me. My friend's there. The man stared, confused. What are you doing out here, this early? But when he blinked, her face flickered. For a moment, she looked pale and hollow-eyed. Her mouth stretched into a grin. He gasped, crossing himself. Maya's voice turned soft, calm, almost playful. Charlie wants to play again. Then the phone, miles away on the ground, lit up by itself. The video uploaded fully. Within minutes, notifications flooded in. Oh my God, this looks real. What's that thing behind her? I'm gonna try this tonight. By noon, it was trending everywhere. That night, across the world. Millions of viewers balanced pencils, whispering, Charlie, Charlie, are you here? In bedrooms, schools, and lonely apartments, pencils moved by themselves. Deep inside Gorakh Jungle, the fog returned. The hourglass in the altar pulsed once more. As a new name began to carve itself into the paper, Eva, Joshua, Ken, Priya, millions of names, millions of voices. Charlie's voice, now spread through every speaker, whispered from the dark, time belongs to those who dare. One by one, you all will play. The final shot from the viral video flickered again. Maya, smiling faintly in the reflection of the hourglass, her lips moved, silently mouthing two words, your turn. Then, tick, tick, tick.